This is a container garden. You can leave these out all winter if you get a good concrete one. The important thing is to make sure you keep the drainage hole open on the bottom. If you just set this on the ground or a flat rock, eventually it'll seal enough for water to collect, and I don't know of any material that can withstand 2,500 pounds per square inch pressure. And so that's why I put little rocks here to keep that drainage hole open. But this was just done. This is a miniature white pine. And this is a Conifer pacifica sicumo, a little teeny miniature with about a ½ inch growth rate a year. This is a little teeny juniper with about 1/8 of an inch growth a year. And this is another Coniferous, very fine textured, but again a miniature with less than a ½ inch a year. These plants will be in scale in this planter probably for at least 10 to 15 years. And what I've done here, when I took this out of the pot, it was planted deep in the pot, and I wanted the root flare exposed. And as I started taking the soil off the top, I left some of the main roots stick right out of the soil. Won't hurt it at all. These will eventually form bark, but it'll add a little character and interest into making this a venerable looking old tree eventually. It's also a wonderful, it's native, Pinus strobus. And once these containers develop on the other side of the bench, again I have a collection of miniatures. This time I have a little miniature Japanese pine here, and a Norway spruce, and this is alpine fir called Alpine Beauty, and I added a little thyme to, in this case, cover and wander in around. Now this one is about 2 years old, and this is what the container garden can look like in a couple years. And it put on about, maybe the pine did about less than 1 inch. The alpine fir does about 1 inch. But again, I chose non-formal shapes so that I can always make the specimen fit my purpose rather than having to have a purpose to fit the specimen.